Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I know what you're thinking, what in the world, Matt, are you doing with a dry suit on and snow is everywhere? But so can't go to work because we got snow everywhere, and my wife said, honey, will you throw the trash away? And I said, absolutely, lovey-dovey. So, and since the trash can is the recycling center is not too far from where we one of the runs that we make. It's a short run, not real long, and it's a fairly easy run. You know, nothing at one spot you probably ought to get out and look for wood, but we've not had any big water events, so we shouldn't have any wood nowhere's on the run. But you know, you always try to make your wife happy, so I'm taking the trash off and I'm going to make a small run. So the only thing I got to be careful with, got my dry suit on and everything, but got to be careful to try to not get too hot before I get in the river. Sometimes I wait till I get there to put everything on, but I've got another guy that's going to give me a shuttle, so you know, I just wanted to have everything that I was getting in and then get on the river and take a couple hour paddle and then be out. But yeah, you don't want to get too hot when you're paddling in the cold weather, because then you'll get cold. So you have to try to monitor, you know, even though I had the heat on in the truck earlier, but now I've got the window open. So, but it is an absolutely beautiful day, blue skies, and the snow range varies. It's really difficult to tell how much snow we had. The National Weather said that we had 16 to 18 inches. Oh, sorry, 16 to 18 inches, but you know, some of it melted, and I think they count all the accumulation before it melts. And when I measured it this morning after everything was over with, I think I've got about 10.5 to 10 3/4 inches. I know there's drifts, places it's deep. They said on Mount Mitchell that they got 57 inches, so we should have some decent water for a while. So we get off of here and I get back at you when I get off. Okay, so I'm getting ready to put on. The one thing that's really nice about putting on in the snow is that you can just drag your boat. I'm thinking maybe I should just seal launch from here all the way in. Nah, I'll just take it on down. But this is the beautiful little town of Spruce Pine. We got an old bridge that crosses the river, and this right here is there's a little park here. I don't remember what they call it, but a little park here and everything. And so this, and there's a little concrete pad right here, and this is usually where I come to slip off into the water. But as you can see, the banks are frozen. This should be an wonderful, wonderful paddle. Well, I'm like an icebreaker. I've broke up the edge. The only thing I'm not sure of is exactly how I'm going to get out. But we'll figure that out here in a little bit. Oh, yes. See, I've not been able to paddle much here recently, and I'm, called around a little bit. Never got anybody to rally, so you know, I've picked one. Some people would say, oh Matt, you shouldn't be out there by yourself, and and I would agree that that's not the most optimal. Look at this ice. The most optimal thing, but I am very familiar with this section of river. This is not my favorite section, just to be honest. I mean, I like it good enough, but there's other sections that I like much better. And our water level is a little bit low, and but it should be coming up with the snow. But yeah, I mean, you know, my roll is pretty decent. As long as I'm not in a super hard rapid and it's really pushing me hard and I'm bumping my head on the bottom, you know, I'm probably, in this boat here, I'd say 90+% of the time I would roll up. Now in a rapid, bumping my head over the bottom, that might be different. Might not be 90%. Oh, I gotta get over a little bit. So I've made it down to the slow bend, and you can see, you know, I've got a you know, about a 20-foot wide channel that ain't got any ice in it, and but the ice is not super thick. I mean, I've seen this river before that you could, especially in the slow water, that you could walk across it. That breaks off fairly easy. But yeah, it's been really cold here lately, and you know, one of the things about cold weather paddling, so I'm dressed that in a way that I was getting a little too hot before I put on the river, and you know, I'm depending on the type of run it is, I mean how long it is, I generally don't do like, oh, here's a humongous, look at the size of this tree. I don't know if you can see it from the but just a monstrous tree right there. But I don't know if you can, for me, I just don't do like super long runs when it's really cold. I only do, you know, 3-4 mile runs generally. That's generally the most. I mean, as it starts warming up, I'll do longer ones, even though it, but you know, that's, if it gets into the upper 30s and 40s, then I'll do longer runs then. But so I'm kind of, I usually overdress to where I'm fine with getting a little too hot and actually sweating a little bit while I'm on the river. This is one of the little rapids here. And, well, I had to stop, and after that little rapid right there, my battery went dead. So, yeah, put a new battery in, and we'll get on with it. But, my hands are getting a little cold, so since we're talking about cold hands, I would say that that's probably the biggest #1 thing is that your hands might get cold. And as long as I've got them in these pogies and they're not like super wet, so like when my hands get wet and it's cold, I try to pull them out of the pogies, shake the water off my hands, and then stick them back in. And it takes a minute or two, and they warm back up. But I'd say if you could, if you can paddle wearing a hydro skin and the pogies, that would be, I've got some big thick neoprene gloves, but I don't like I don't really like paddling with them. I'm going to try some different ones, but I've just not yet. So far, the pogies has been okay. I mean, yes, will my hands get cold? If I end up swimming, then yes, my hands will be very cold by the time it's over with. And, you know, and then I'll have to warm them back up. The good part about warming your hands, though, is with this vest I've got on, it's a NRS Zen. I think it's a Zen. It's their rescue vest, and even the Ninja had a nice place to warm your hands up. And here's another one. And generally, when we got higher water, you can go just anywhere on here. But since we don't have a whole lot of water today, I'll just take the regular line. So we've come to a section here that another big bend, and we've got two small channels still flowing. Looks like the some of the ice has been breaking up. Huge big old sandbar right there. This is just beautiful. Let me make sure that I'm recording. Oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, it's quite nice. Slip my helmet back on. So this is the first time that I have paddled with this much ice on the river, and it's very unique. I'm really, it's just quiet. There's a big pile of logs, so you can see what comes down through here when we get the floods. It crams all the logs into that place there. This pretty deep little section right there. You can jump off if you like. But yeah, just making my way down. A lot of this section here is pretty flat. I've you know, the upper section, the first mile and a quarter, something like that, is fairly flat. Just a few little rapids. Then it picks up when I get down here under this other bridge. The gradient picks up a little bit, and you have some more white water. That's kind of funny with all the snow. Okay, guys, I'll get back to you here in just a second. We'll run down this little bitty one here, and it's just so pretty. The water's so clear. Beautiful. I'm in okay, so of course my GoPro hit quit on me a little bit as I was finally getting through the ice. It took longer than I thought it would, and it got my hands cold because I was having to grab the ice and pull myself across. But I pulled over here in a little eddy in the sunshine, and yeah, I'm in pretty good shape now, so we'll continue on. As you can see, my head's getting a little bit sweaty. And, you know, sometimes you work a little harder than you should, and I was working pretty hard getting across the ice. So, we'll head on down. The next thing that you kind of come to is you'll hear something running. And it's the feldspar or quartz core. The Uniman is shut down. That used to you really couldn't hear the Uniman all that much. It was a little farther away. You could hear it a little bit, but the feldspar you can hear. Yeah, there was that ice. I thought I saw the one. It was all clear. I couldn't see around that rock. I would not have thought that the bottom would have been froze solid like that. Oh well, it was all good. I actually I paddled up next to it and chopped some of it off. It's not enough to hold my weight as far as standing on it. But then I took a couple of runs at it with some speed and finally got up onto the ice and was able to, I popped my skirt and got my foot out to where I could kind of push with my foot, and because it wasn't breaking through with my boat as a whole. So yeah, it worked. I didn't really want to have to do that, but oh well. Sometimes you have to do things you're not really wanting to do. So I'm down here at another little section. So pretty. Very nice. One of the ponds. But I'm closing in on it. Got a, this is the P.A.L.S post office right here. This is the biggest drop on the whole run. This is the little falls here at P.A.L.S. Not real technical. You just basically just rip right off of it. The bottom's not really hole-ish. There's not really a booth per se. And you can kind of pick and choose whichever side you want to go off. I usually go off this hand side here. So that's the little falls at P.A.L.S. And it's a good place to come and practice your roll in current, is right here. So yeah, I'm going to try to get on down here, and the takeout's just right down here. So, and you can come in here. It's got a little bit, it won't hold you for, you know, it'll kick you out. It kicks you out, to the left over there next to that rock when you get in there. It's not bad. It don't hold you very long. You know, I'm not cold at all. You know what, right there, I'm getting out on that side. Where that little branch is coming in, that looks to me like that's the best side to, I think I can get out pretty easy right there, so. Get out, call my buddy, and get a ride back up to town. All right. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the trip, and thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that, and hopefully we'll be getting back on the water real soon. All right, guys.